So basically you're saying that your eating disorder was the drug you used to help you not feel the pain.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
It created a whole nother experience of pain, but it wasn't the original pain from your childhood that you didn't want to experience.
Yeah, but I didn't even consider being in the eating disorder pain, because I was so going all the time that was my normal way of being, until I ended up in treatment and in the hospital and on a feeding tube for a month, and, really having to make a decision about, do I want to live or do I want to die? Is this the way I will continue? Or, can I surrender and have faith, that my life can change, that I can create change for myself.
And so you did want to change. You were on that deathbed and you decided you wanted, to change. Was there a moment where you weren't sure?
Yeah, it's funny. I remember my third day of being in treatment, and I was probably in the most horrific pain I had ever been in my life, both emotionally and physically. I had a staph infection covered my body. I was just very suicidal. I was malnourished, I was not functioning. And I just remember, like, the third day I wanted to leave. I kept saying, this is not for me, I know what I need, and I called my sister, and, I'm so grateful that a woman there had made one little comment, and that I had a seed of awareness to understand that, I can continue defeating myself, because walking out of here would be defeating myself, and that had been my lifetime pattern. I wasn't worthy enough of even healing, but it wasn't conscious. So I think ultimately my spirit chose for me, but once I had surrendered to staying, it all turned around. It was just a profound healing. Like, they even said after 30 days, they've never seen anybody in that treatment center recover that quickly. So I do attribute that, somewhat with age, because a lot of the women who were there were a lot younger than me, and I'm in my 40s, and that was a big level of acceptance about, this is where I am in my 40s, and here I am, and wow, a lot of judgment around that. But I realized I was done, like, I'm ready to live. And I think as a result of my parents' death, there was some karmic connection in there that gave me this new opportunity to live in a new way.
Wow.
And, and I just want to share this because I think just for awareness of how deadly this disease can be, and I don't think enough people understand that. I was in treatment with about 14 women, and I found out that 4 of them died last year that I was there with. And it's hard for me to get my head around, because it's insidious. It's really, they'd say in the 12 steps, it's cunning, baffling, and powerful, and it will take you. And I am filled with gratitude that I have turned my life around, one day at a time.
Will you speak a little bit about how you have turned your life around?
Sure, that's the good part. It's still one day at a time. I am certainly not, it's not over and done, at all. I'm newly in recovery, but one thing that for me has by far been the core of my transformation is I've been practicing Buddhism for 17 years, and I chant on a daily basis, and I really got at one point that for me, this experience is a karmic condition. I came into this life with this condition. It's not personal. It's not what the universe has done to me. It's not what my parents have done to me. I chose this, and if I chose this, negatively, then I have the power within me to turn it around. And so that was just kind of like the underbelly of the foundation of where I started from in my trusting that I can heal myself. And then layered with that, I do go to a 12-step program. It's not around food. I go to Codependence Anonymous, which I also believe is the foundation of any addiction starts with codependency. That's just my belief, which has unbelievably transformed my life. you know, learning about how to have healthy behaviors, both with myself, how I treat myself, and my behaviors and my relationships with other people.
Can I ask what has shifted in the way that you see yourself and the world?
So interesting, the sun came out right as you said that. Well, I want to just add in another big part of that was getting my master's at University of Santa Monica in spiritual psychology, which, you know, all of these, the combination of these three powerful tools in my life has taught me how I hold myself and how I see myself and how I've designed a way of life of how I value and nurture myself, which have all been built, you know, through therapy, through school, through Buddhism, through the 12 steps. You know, it's been a combination, and it's been a lot of work. I spent my entire first year out of treatment only in recovery. I didn't work.
Yeah.
You know, I was blessed and fortunate enough to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's been interesting as I've gotten back out in the world and finishing my master's and starting my own business. You know, I've had to incorporate a lot of new territory for myself. And then now it becomes a whole different layer of how am I treating myself when old judgments and things come up. You know, but I have a network, you know, and for me that's been everything. A network of friends, a network of recovery friends, you know, therapist, dietitian, you know, all these people, and trusting my own faith in my own life. You know, that I'm worthy to heal. And it's not, you know, the big thing for me, just going back to treatment for a minute and why we're here today, is because I had made a vow that if I lived, my life would be devoted to being of service. And I had always had that element in me, but now it was on a whole different level. You know, it was like really sharing my experience because I was in despair and I was hopeless and I couldn't see life being any other way than where I was. And it was not fun. You know, so I'm grateful that I get to every day redetermine that, you know, my life is not just about for me.
Yeah.